guys, welcome back. Video today is about my Baja makeover. If any of you saw the last video, I was going through with just what I wanted to do with it and everything else and give it a whole new look. Now, during the teardown, I decided that I wasn't going to video every single thing that I pulled apart and bore you guys with a long-winded video. I took some photos of certain stages during the teardown, and then I did the same with cleaning everything and putting everything back together towards the end of the movie. So what I did when I tore everything down, I did find a few things that needed doing, which I'll go through in the next segment of the video. But what I've got for you now is a few photos of the teardown. So without any further ado, check out those photos coming up, and I'll see you in the next bit. Alright guys, here she is. My Baja. Look at it. She's in a million pieces. Getting ready for its new look. So guys, after that, this next few photos that I've got coming through to you will be, as you see in the teardown, I started cleaning everything up, and what I found with a lot of the stuff, a lot of the alloy parts that are on this truck, like I said in the previous video, that it was a second-hand basket case, box of bits, if you will, and whoever had it before me had sprayed everything with black paint, and it looked a bit tacky and everything. So these next few photos you'll see, I went through everything and I've actually cleaned everything up and brought back the clean alloy look, you know what I'm saying. The few of the things I did find, like the rear wheel bearings were shagged, the bearings in the clutch bell carrier, no good, and when I did pull the diff apart, which you'll see in one of the photos, everything inside that was great. The bearings were really good. The diff center itself still nice and firm, so I didn't actually split the diff center itself. I left it alone, and everything was Mickey Mouse. So all I did with the diff was I just re-greased it and slapped it back together. I put a bit of Loctite master gasket, I think it is, just to seal the two diff halves together, and so on. So and also when I rebuilt the shocks, I changed over from the normal shock fluid that's run in the Baja standard. Now I can't remember what type of oil it is. It's some kind of fork oil. It actually says that on the bottle. But what I did was I went and moved over to, I don't know if you can see those, I switched over to a silicon oil. Now, it does say in the manual to not use silicon oil, but the only reason that I can see of you not using this like an ace type of silicon oil is because when you on your piston, shock piston, they've got a series of holes. Now I think the rears should have 16 tiny little holes in the shock piston, and the fronts have got 2. So hence why silicon is, as a lot of you would know, the silicon shock oil is a lot dense. It's a lot thicker. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the silicon is a bit less reluctant to be affected by heat. I'm not too sure, but that's what I did. So I ended up using, now what it says in the HPI, or the manual I've got, it's a HPI one, and it's one I downloaded off the internet. But it says to use, from factory, you use a 40 weight oil in the front and a 5 weight oil in the rear. Now, when you're switching over to silicon oil, obviously you can't use 40 weight front and rear, because I learned that the hard way. Now, what I did was I decided to run, a thicker oil, so to speak, in the rear, and so 40 weight. Now put the 40 weight in the front, not too bad. In the rear, couldn't compress it. And hence why I think why it says in the manual to not use the shock oil, because it's obviously thicker. Sorry, not use silicone oil, but it's thicker. Now it wouldn't, shocks would not compress. So the only reason why I say that is because I think the holes are too small in the rears. So what I did was, I went with the 40 in the front, obviously, which it does stiffen the front end up a little bit versus the original shock oil. And I went with a 25 weight in the silicone for the rear end. Now, I haven't run this truck for a period of time, so I had to give it a test run just the other day in my backyard, so just to get a bit of a feel for how it's going to react. So went with 25 seems to feel a lot better. So silicone shock oil. Now in the book, I'll just find the page for you. When you're doing your shocks, it tells you, it actually gives you a breakdown of the whole shock, showing you how to pull it apart and all the rest of it. Now, I might get the camera in close, if I can show you guys here. Now, in this manual, now the original manual that comes with your trucks will be much the same, probably exactly the same. This is just a copy from the internet that I downloaded and put in this book so I can use it. So, it shows you step, like it tells you all your part numbers for all your pieces, your O-rings and everything else. But the beauty about it is, even the shock boots, right? It shows you how to put them on. And there's your part listings with the numbers, and you know that's an actual size. Goes through like that. Shock bodies, and it does say here, if you can see that part of the page there, fronts 40 weight, rears 5 weight. Now that's just your normal shock fluid, and I'm going to say I don't 100% know exactly what the makeup of that oil is, but that's your 40 in the front and 5 in the rear. So like I said, I've changed that just to see how to go. But handy to have as a reference for rebuilding your shocks. And it does actually tell you in here where to fill the fluid up to, which if you've got your shock and if you've had them apart before, guys, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. When you've got it inverted and you've got your piston out, you fill it all up to your threaded, where your threaded section inside the shock body itself. Fill it to there, and then you put it on. Bleed it, however else. Some of you guys might be running the bleeder cap shocks. All well and good, same scenario. You still put the same amount of oil in, but you can bleed it through that, which is all good. But handy to have, guys, as a reference. So I ended up going with the 45cc out of my MT, since the 45 destroyed all the bloody gears and the transmission on that thing. So that's going to be another project for later on. So anyway, so I went with the 45, put it in there, fits in there pretty good. I got the idea off a guy that I subscribe to, RC Dungeon. If any of you guys been watching YouTube and all that sort of stuff, check him out, RC Dungeon. He's running a Baja with the 45 in it too, so, and it goes pretty well. So also, back on topic, what I did with, like I said before, I had to put new wheel bearings in all the RSN. I replaced all the shock boots, and also I did the rear dog bone boots as well. So look, while I'm going, put new boots on, all that as well. The other thing, in the last video, if you had seen it, I had a cage to go on top of this Baja. Now, in order for that cage to fit, I had to remove the Baja cage that goes over the centre of the chassis, so that is gone. And yes, the Baja, no, sorry, not the Baja, the cage I put on there is off a Lossy DVXL. Now, you'll get a look at that shortly. The next couple of photos coming up will show you where I've sort of pre-fitted it onto the chassis, and it fits over the top of that nice Dominator wraparound pipe that I've got on the top there. had to make a couple of modifications so as it would fit on there, and including mounting the cage at the rear and at the front so that it stays in place. And yeah, like I said, there was a couple of things I had to cut out of the cage, and I was a bit concerned at the start because I thought, oh, the rigidity of the cage may be affected, but no, it seems to be quite good. And I will actually be doing a paint job on that, because yeah, when you see it, you'll see that it's got the lossy badges all over it, and it's not a lossy, it's a Baja. So, but I got an idea of what I'm going to do for a paint job on that, and that will be another video in itself. So, sorry guys, I'm checking my notes. So yeah, in the rest of these photos following, you'll see I got the sim steer, or symmetrical steering, which the difference to that, a lot of you blokes would know anyway. The servo is inverted, it's upside down, and it's centrally mounted in the front of the chassis, versus the ones where the stock setup, where it's laid on its side down in the bottom of the chassis. So it seems to work okay. I mean, you know, from the other Baja truck that we have, I mean, young fella's 5T, it steers fine. I mean, this was already in this truck, and yeah, I've got to tell you, it does have equal amount of throw from one side to the other versus the 5T and the original Bajas, and that tend to sort of, in the trucks only for some reason, they tend to turn better one way than the other. But with the sim steer, it sort of eliminates that. So not a bad setup. If you're into wanting to do something like that, well, yeah, go for it. Otherwise, stock setup's not too bad, you know, depending on where you're running them. So here she is, guys. What a transformation. Totally different look, and yes, before we go any further, it does have lossy on the side, and it's a Baja. I know it may be sacrificial to some people, but it won't look like this after I've run it a few times, because I am going to paint this. I've got a colour scheme slash theme that I'm going to go with, which I won't reveal what I'm going to do with it until another video. So stay tuned for that, guys, because I've got something I'm thinking about doing with this. So it's not a lossy, it is a Baja. Okay, I used all this setup because I got this cage and all the panels off a mate, and I wanted to go something different. I mean, I could have got the Baja cage and everything else, but I like the style of the DBXL look. I mean, it's got the sand rail slash desert buggy, whatever you want to call them, you know, and I like that style versus some of the other ones out there. And as you can see, it fits pretty good. The wheelbase is pretty good, and even with the wing on the back. Now I do have a bit of a void here. Now I am going to do something with that, and I'll probably do something with that when I do the paint job. I've got another idea that I'm going to put around the back end there. But like I said, that will be another video, and the style slash theme that I'm going to do with this, I'm not going to reveal until the next time I do a video when I paint this, so stay tuned for that. Now, as you can see, everything fits in there nice. So what I've done is I've removed the screws from the front and the hood, roof, wood, whatever you just want to. And I'll pull them off. I'll get the camera over here, and I'll go over some things and show you how it looks inside. So from the top, and you can see that the dominator pipe goes around in there. Being the 45, I did make another header to go so I can fit this pipe on. Actually, as you all know, the 45's got the bigger exhaust port and everything else, so that was another little modification I had to do. Had to make another one of those. So yeah, and the pipe fits in there nice. Now, if you notice at the back here, apart from I made a bracket that bolts onto the shock tower on the back end here to bolt the cage down at the back, and at the front in the sides, which you can't really see because they're in behind there, they bolt straight through there into the 5SC excuse me, truck mounts on the side. The bolt through there, and same on the other side. Now when you look down in here, you can see what I mean about all the alloy parts that I've cleaned up all through there. Now this is a different shock tower brace in the front here. I had that laying around from an old buggy I had years ago, so I figured it was a good time to run that. Yeah, still got the same filter back on. I just haven't put the sock over it yet. Everything else, the truck is pretty much the same, like I said, except for the cage. Now with this, like I said before, I have run this just briefly in the backyard at home here, so I'm really keen to get this thing out and give it a run to see how it goes. And like I said before, with the cage I had to do some modifications. Now if you look over the top here, you can see where this brace runs from the back here over to the side. There's nothing here, and there used to be one that went through the middle and up to the middle here. So I've removed those, and that's what I said before in the other video. I didn't know whether the rigidity of the cage was going to be sacrificed, but as you can see there, like it's solid. It's not going anywhere. So that's been removed. Also, it can clear this pipe. Now that, like you see that brace going there and over to the side, this one went over here, went over to the side under there, so, well, sorry, into here, which was in the way of the pipe. So that got removed, smoothed off the edges, made it look all pretty. And I think, guys, like I said already, the rest of the truck is pretty much the same except for the cage, and I've gone through everything to make everything smooth running again. One thing I did find with the top plate that goes over the diff and the back of the tranny and all that sort of stuff there, that alloy plate, now most of this stuff on this is all Turtle Racing stuff, except for the hub carriers, which you've probably seen in a couple of other photos there, the hostile 2 degree hub carriers. Yeah, from what I've seen, I think you can get 0s and 1s and 2s and whatever else. So they're on there, and they're all nice and clean. The shocks have been redone. The pipe is mounted back in there nice, and it fits up snug, and it's solid. There's not a lot else to say, guys, but need to get this thing out and get it going. Not get it going, it's going, but get it out there and get it ripping it up again. I'm keen to see how this 45 goes in this Baja. Now we're going to go for a play this weekend, and I know that I'm going to have probably some teething issues with this, being the first time giving it a full dash, and but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, guys, that's it. Done, dusted, ready to play. I'm kind of happy how the house turned out. It looks totally different. I like I said before, I like the cage style of the DBXL, which is why I went with it. A couple of other things that I've noticed, like I may have to trim out the body part here where the springs are. Minor shit. So yeah, stick around, guys. I've got some more stuff to come. Like, I'm going to try and see if I can capture this rig in a bash video this weekend. Post it up there for you guys to have a look at, because and I do apologise that I haven't put one up for a little while. So we've got a few more guys to come run trucks with us and have a little bit of a group we've got going on. Hopefully they can all be there this weekend. While I'm on that, there's a new Kraken coming, a new guy that's hooked up with us to come play. So I think it's the HPI 5B / Kraken Sidewinder. I mean, I love the look of those machines. They look so nice. But so hopefully he'll be there this weekend. He's been running it in for the last couple of weeks, so it'd be cool to see that thing out there ripping it up. And also, we may have a lead on a place that we can call our own, but I'll keep you posted with that one. So hopefully in the near future, you'll see some videos coming from a place that we're just going to, our own spot. We can go there, we're going to have no issues with any outside influence like people, pedestrians and everything else. So stick around, I'll keep you guys posted on that, because there may be some track building and all sorts of stuff coming along. We'll play it by ear, see what happens, so we're good to go. So guys, remember, like I say all the time guys, get your trucks, your cars, whatever you're running, get them outside. Beautiful times of the year like we've got here right now, go and have a play and have some fun. And guys, stick around, like I said, I've got heaps more coming. I'll see you guys in the next one.